be about the wise words of the Secretary General that I just heard. Africa is on the rise. The second will be the Spanish view on Africa right now in the investment sector. And the third one will be, the title will be, it's very short, but from ODA to a dynamic industrial policy. Well, Africa is on the rise. I think that we have heard very good news from that presentation. Let me tell you that according with our research, 3 million African people have right now middle income capabilities, which is very important. And that amount will be, and that number will be about 1 billion in 2050. So this is a very important market. Second, the GDP in Africa has, as you said, Carlos, has doubled in a decade. And that is, although there is some inequality, of course, but it is definitely better to grow than to not. And I have to say that, as you just mentioned in your presentation, that social aspects have been improving, and that's very important. And finally, from the 10 economies that have grown more in the last decade, in the last year, 6 belong to Africa, and this is as well very important. What is the Spanish view? The Spanish view is, it's very clear. We are exporting more to Africa than to Latin America, and that is really impressive. Secondly, we have doubled our exports to Africa in the last 7 years, more or less, and this is very important as well. And thirdly, we have a very strong commitment in Africa, in the sense that we have a big net of 30 embassies, and those 30 embassies are working very hardly, and they are changing their approach. Why? Because they are moving from ODA to investments, they are moving from ODA to commerce, and that's my third point. I remember some years ago when I was in Latin America, a Prime Minister of Spain said, if I were to have money, I would invest in Latin America. Well, those words are applicable right now to Africa. If I could say if I were to have money, I would invest in Africa. Definitely, I would do so. But what do we need? I think it's of paramount importance to have a smooth change from ODA to investments. That is key. It is true that Latin America has not grown rapidly because of ODA. It has grown because it has had, as Carlos said, domestic investment, and because it had foreign investment. That is the key, to promote investment. So I think that we have to create the right conditions to receive investments and to have better domestic investment. I am optimistic, and I was taking note of Mr. Lopez's comments saying, well, Africa is a latecomer, the financial market right now is unstable, we have to outsmart the others. All that is true, but I think that if we move swiftly and intelligently from ODA to investments, from commerce to direct investments, we will be reaching that magic 7 that you referred a while ago. Thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias. Carlos, please.